What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back at you again, and we done did it again. We had a bad night. We went 0 for 2, and I just thought the Cavaliers would have a little bit of the Cavs were only built for the regular season. They're not built for a play to 15 wins from playoff teams, and that's how a lot of these teams made the playoffs. So it's just, you got to take it with a grain of salt. How many quality wins did this team have during the season? You got to ask yourself. And during this series, there was only one. And it's just been a very disappointing series for a number one series or seed in a number two series. So anybody that thought that this team would do better, I was on the same boat. And it just shows you can't really trust this team unless they have a number one superstar. There's been a lot of talk that LeBron might go back to Cleveland and end his career there. Dare I say, if this team had LeBron James constructed as is, this team actually would be scary. You would have two guards that can handle the ball. You could throw LeBron in there, and then you got those two bigs. So it would be a little scary to think and see about it, but I'm kind of over the LeBron James Young Bucks. That's clearly what they're doing here, and just going to roll the dice. Now you look at what happened last night. Halliburton drops 31 points. The brother has almost 8 assists. And it's just a landslide. As a team of passes, guys. I don't think you guys understand. And only 10 assists for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that tells me they weren't playing as a team. They weren't moving the ball. And they had 24 from Mobley, 9 from Allen, 11 from Garland. That's never going to get it done. And Donovan Mitchell gives you 35. Seems to me that Donovan Mitchell needs to go to a contending team. I don't understand why this guy's always on a team that can't do nothing. He's at that age where he needs to win. It would be surprising to see him on a team that can win now and just needs another piece. Imagine him on the Lakers. The Lakers could have used a guard like him. Or even the Warriors could use a guard like him. Who else? The Nuggets could use a guard like him. Who else? I'm trying to think. Even the Celtics could use a guard like him. Say they made a trade and moved off of, I don't know, maybe Drew Holiday or something. You get a more explosive player. But I just don't know. Maybe the brother won't find out. You look at the Pacers. It's just a well-rounded machine. Pascal, 21. Neesmith, 13. Turner, 10. He had that huge 3 late in the game. Nembhard, 18. Second-year player. Halliburton, that we talked about earlier. So they're all their starters, double digits. It's going to be hard to beat a team that can do that night in, night out. And now, it's probably going to be, it's looking like it's either going to be the Thunder. Well, actually, we don't know what the Timberwolves going to do. The Timberwolves could turn everything around. I don't want to speak too soon because they might have the Timberwolves go to the championship. Even though I think the Timberwolves are going to have a lot of trouble facing the Thunder in the next round, there's going to be so much to account for. If Anthony can get by and beat the Thunder team, then I will probably say he's going to win the championship. They're finally crowning Michael Jordan's son. That's what I would say. But we're just going to have to see how this all plays out. I don't want to get ahead of myself because that's when I get into trouble. I start thinking way ahead. And the Thunder Nuggets, I already said I didn't feel good about picking the Nuggets. The only reason I picked them, it seemed like they were winning the first set of games and losing the second. So I was following the trend. I got burned. It is what it is. Now I expect Denver to come back strong in Game 6 and tie the series up. But then ultimately probably losing 7. Because the Thunder, they just look for real. And we're just going to have to see how they look against, I guess, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert, he's the only big man. But then again, they got Julius Randle. They got that other brother on the wing. So, I mean, this team is actually pretty nice, the Timberwolves. So it's going to be interesting to see how they guard SGA. Because they don't really have a big point guard, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. There's going to be a lot of mismatch problems. It's going to be interesting how that series goes. Could go 7 games. But in this game, Jokic couldn't be stopped. 44 points. Murray gives you 28, but Murray needs to give you 40, and Jokic has to give you 40. And I've been saying that's how they're going to win, and that's the only way they can win, because you can't rely on Gordon. You can't rely on Michael Porter, who gave you a whopping 2 points. That brother has been non-existent for the last 2 years in the playoffs. I think they got to move off that brother. He's not a big game player no more. He played good that 1 year, and it's just been lights out in the wrong direction for him. Literally, the lights are out. Now with Christian Braun, that brother, you can't ask for much from him. He's a dunker. He's a slasher. He's not a shooting type player. And then Russell Westbrook doesn't give you much. So that's the ball game. If Russell can't give you anything and Michael Porter can't give you anything, you lose the game, guys. Those are key players that you are depending on, and they are giving you nothing. And I expect them to bounce back and give them something the next game. But if you're going to come out like this, brothers, you're going to lose. Now, as far as tonight, we got the Celtics, right? And the Warriors game. I think the Celtics are going to be in trouble. They could probably win this game, but ultimately the series is over. I don't want to make the same mistake I made last night picking the Cavs, but watch. I'm going to pick the Knicks tonight, and the Celtics going to win. That's how it goes. But we going to pick the Knicks to close out the series because Tatum's out, and they just need to get this done. They back at home. It's made out for the Knicks to win at home and move on. So I'm picking the Knicks. Next, we got the Warriors and the T-Wolves. 3-1. Let me just check real quick. Steph Curry's status for Game 5. Let's see what they say about this. He's ruled out for Game 5, guys. So Steph Curry will not play in Game 5. So I'm picking the Warriors. So notice the trend here, guys. Celtics, their best player, injured, gone. Knicks win. Warriors, their best player, injured, gone. I picked the Timberwolves, guys. So these series should wrap up tonight, guys. I wish they didn't because I want to see more good basketball, but I don't want to see basketball when the best players are out. So if they're going to be out, let's just end these series and move on to the next one. So that means we're going to see the Knicks most likely versus the Pacers. It's going to be interesting to see how Karl Anthony Towns plays defense. They're going to expose that brother, I'm telling you right now. And then we're going to possibly see the T-Wolves versus the Thunder. And the trend of this series and this playoffs, it's all young guns. That's what it is. It's all young teams making it. The NBA is showing us the direction they're going in. They're going with their young stars. And whether that ends up being a good or bad thing, that's what they're going to do, and they're going to ride with it, guys. And let's see what happens tonight. Hopefully I can bounce back from my 2 bad picks. Other than that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.